TV. Today we'll be discussing something very important. We're talking about diet and dieting, especially as we grow older. As you get older, the way your body handles foods, handles drugs slows down. So the implication is that you have to do some dietary modifications to be able to maintain a healthy life. And research shows that a healthy diet is directly linked to a better quality of life, and adhering to dietary instructions is associated with a reduced risk of death. So when you adhere more to dietary instructions, especially as you get older, you have a reduced risk of death. So we'll be looking at some factors and some dietary modifications that will help you to live a healthier life. One is that you have to eat a plant-rich diet. What I mean is that you have to prioritize eating more of vegetables and fruits. In fact, your diet should contain up to 50% of vegetables and fruits. Then the other ones, the other proportions, you now have carbohydrates, proteins, water, and others to make up the proportion. Then you should eat to be satisfied, not stuffed. What I mean is that stop when you are full. You mustn't finish the food on your plate. So you don't stop eating when the plate is empty. You stop eating when you're full, and your brain and your stomach will tell you when you're full. Then avoid large portions. This is also related to the last point, but to make it more practical, experience has shown that when you eat from a smaller plate, the same quantity of food, and you eat that same quantity of food from a larger plate, you get full easily with the smaller plate than the larger plate. So that's a modification you have to make as you get older. Reduce the size of the place in your kitchen so that you eat smaller portions. You feel better at the end of the day when you do that. Then eat slowly. You don't need to rush your food. Just take it gradually so that your stomach will be able to communicate with your brain that you are full. But if you rush your food, before you know what's happening, you finish eating, and before your brain even gets the information, you've overeaten. And like I mentioned when we started, the way your body handles foods and drugs slows down as you age. So if you take more than you should take, then the body stores the rest as fat, and some of them may even turn to become toxins. Then ensure you eat a balanced diet. I've mentioned it earlier, but make sure that the proportion of vegetables and fruits in the diet is up to 50%. Prioritize homemade food. Try to eat at home. Don't form the habit of always buying things from restaurants and from fast food joints. One is that homemade food is healthier and is even more hygienic because you just made it for yourself and for your family. And that's unlike what you have in food that is made in the public and for the public. You may not be able to ascertain the hygiene practices that were put in place before those foods were brought to the shelf. So prioritized homemade food, and it's even cheaper in the long run, and it's more nutritious because uh, commercial foods made for commercial reasons, the priority is usually on profit. So quality may be compromised to be able to achieve profit. Then limit or cut down saturated fats. By that, I mean fats like margarine, animal fats, fats that you have in pastries. We call that trans fats, like the fat you have in meat pie and cake. So you should try as much as possible to either cut off this completely or limit the use, make it minimal, the use minimal. Then use healthy oils. Oils like canola oil, soya oil, these are healthy oils that you can use in place of those other oils. In fact, any oil that is not liquid at room temperature is not good enough. So try as much as possible to use oils like soybean oil and canola oil, although they may be more costly than the traditional oils, but they are better. Then eat healthy fish like mackerel, salmon, tuna. I want to quickly point out that something like catfish is not so good enough. It's not good enough because catfish has both omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Both omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-3 fatty acids that are healthy for the body, for the heart, but omega-6 is not that healthy. So now when you have both of them in catfish, the effect may be counterproductive at the end of the day. So eat more of mackerel, salmon, and tuna and fishes like that. Then limit artificial seasoning. Try as much as possible to go natural. They may not be as sweet as the artificial seasoning, but in the long run, they are more healthy for you. Avoid frying your food as much as possible. In fact, frying is the worst form of cooking. So try as much as possible to boil, steam, or grill. Boil, steam, or grill instead of frying. So even if you have to fry, make it minimal. Don't make it turn it into deep frying. Let it be shallow frying as much as possible. Then cut down refined sugar, like the sugars you have in soft drinks, the sugar you add to your teas, and the table sugar. Cut down on refined sugar, and you can find alternatives like honey. You can use that as an alternative, even dates. Although you still have some reducing sugar in dates, but it's still better than the refined table sugar that we all know. Then read your labels. When you go to the supermarket to buy a product, form that habit of reading, turn the back to find the content. Look at the saturated fat content, the unsaturated fat content, the protein content, the carbohydrate content. That will help you to know whether you should actually pick that product or not. Then cut back on salt. Too much salt increases the risk of high blood pressure. Now, if you already have high blood pressure, then you should cut down on salt as much as possible, and if possible, even avoid salt if it is possible. Stay hydrated. Now, water is life. Your body needs water for its functions, and it needs a lot of water. So make it a point of duty to drink plenty of water daily. Then practice intermittent fasting. You mustn't eat breakfast, lunch, and night every day. So find a way that sometimes you can cut down on your eating by maybe skipping food for about 16 hours, then taking food for the next 8 hours. So fasting doesn't just have spiritual benefits. Fasting also has physical benefits, as it helps the body to maintain its function. In fact, it tells the body, gives the body time to rest and reset so that you can start on a fresh note. Now, even if you've not been doing all these things before now, it's good not to defer it. You have an opportunity even now to start doing this. And do you know what? Your future self will thank you, because these practices, they will limit your risk of having chronic diseases like diabetes and hypertension. And even if they come, maybe they will not come as early as they would have come if you continue with your unhealthy practices. So if you have enjoyed this video and if you found this helpful, then give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and subscribe to this channel for more tips on health, wellness, and medical writing. Share this video with somebody in your network that needs this information. Then till we see you again, till I see you again, continue to live healthy, continue to live life to the full.
Please subscribe.